For right now, Coach Dorazio, legendary coach in the CFL. I've actually had the privilege to coaching with Dan on 2 separate occasions. And I'll tell you what, one of the good guys in the league, very genuine. And the best thing about Dan is how much he cares for his players. So we're really looking forward to the detail here. But Coach Dorazio, go ahead and take it away, sir.
Thank you, Dave. Man, it's my high honor and great privilege to be with everyone today. And I'm deeply appreciative and humbled, Dave, that you've asked me to share some football today. I think clinics like this are the lifeblood of this industry that we're all in. And I mean, who would have thought a month ago that because of this virus that we're all experiencing in the world, that would be doing this and this caused this. So I believe some good will come from this. Hopefully you'll grab a thought, an idea that can help you. First of all, I think a coach is a teacher. And the art of teaching is to take something very complex and make it simple. But I think you got to coach what you know. You got to put things in your own words, and you got to do it your way. Because if you know it, if you believe it in your heart, and you know it in your mind, you'll coach anything with a passion. But you have to have an approach. You have to stand for something and be known for something wherever you're at. And you have to ask the $1 million question. Can the player do what you're asking? Because, man, you are what you see on tape. So hopefully the things that you see today and the things you'll hear are the things that we've worked on for many years. And we'll grab some good things from it. Today, Dave, this is an open forum. Man, this is an open forum. Please, at any time, if 1 and 1 doesn't make 2 but makes 4, stop us. And we'll try to answer questions at any time. It doesn't matter as we try to figure this out. Is that good? Okay, let's begin. Fellas, today, in the time allotted we have, let's focus in an area and let's talk about protection today. And let's center on the interior positions, both guards and center play, in relating to protection and technique will be our discussion points. First of all, as we have looked at protection over the years and evaluated success and failure, the 2 biggest reasons why we feel protecting fails, technique fails in your blocking is a player either leans or he catches. Leaning and catching are the 2 biggest failures. If you go back and look at your tape of your guys and study when they don't succeed, I think you'll find both these areas come into play. So let's take a look at this and let's show you how we coach these areas. Okay, so these poles that you see on their shoulders, we put them on their shoulders to prevent leaning, no leaning, as you can see here. And no matter what, if you look at you're going to find that we're putting them in positions where they can move inside, move outside, move off the line of scrimmage. The bottom line here is get these guys moving inside, outside, off the line of scrimmage, but the poles provide it forces their shoulders back behind their knees. The other thing that helps leaning is the more the stagger that a player has in his feet, the more the shoulders are going to be back behind their knees. The more the feet are parallel, the more the shoulders are over the knees, which you don't want. And then another way to do this, besides the pulls, are to take a 45-pound plate and then execute the same footwork mechanics whether they move inside, whether they move outside, whether they move off the line of scrimmage. Okay, so a player at times is going to get caught leaning. How can you coach a guy to get out of something that he happens to end up leaning, and what can he do? So if you look at this picture here, this is going to be a center who's going to be in the middle of protection, and he'll be leaning in a protection. Right now, he's leaning. Notice his shoulders are over his knees. He's on his toes. Total lean here. In major league big trouble. So how do we coach guys to get out of that? Whenever a guy feels like he's leaning, we tell him to push himself away. Just push yourself away like this. Push yourself away. Push yourself away. And re-anchor. Okay? Just a small coaching point. No catching, no leaning, no catching, no catching. So when we stab, we're hitting with both heels of the hands, which we'll get to later. But we want extension on the elbows, but coming over the post foot and knee, and we want those hands like two steel rods, just like two steel rods. Two steel rods coming out the back of his spine. Again, coming over the knees, no catching, stabbing, 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 being functionally strong over that right post foot there. And again, we'll get into the art of stabbing as we go. One central theme in good protection is having proactive hands. Proactive hands. Watch, this is what we call proactive hands. We'll watch this right guard here in this clip here. Okay. Just study his hands. Study these hands when the ball snaps. Right now. Right now. 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 Fast hands. Watch this right guard. Watch the right guard. That's what you call proactive hands. This is drop back pass protection. But our approach is to make the first touch. To do that, you've got to have proactive hands. We'll study another right guard. Same guy, a little bit later in the same game. Proactive hands. Right guard again. Same guy, different game. Now he's on his inside shoulder, not his outside shoulder. First touch. First touch. Fast hands. Up and out. Up and out. So, the dish. The dish. What is the dish? Let's talk a little bit about drop back pass protection right now. Generally, the passing point for the quarterback could be 7 yards deep or 9 yards deep directly behind the center. And the object of drop back pass protection is to create a dish around the quarterback, around the passing point, not a cup, not a cup. The objectives for the centers and guards is to make sure that the depth of the dish is protected. We won't talk much about tackle play, but their job is to keep the width of the dish expanded. If any defender wants to penetrate the parameters of the dish, the job of the protection unit is to redirect the rush outside the dish or away from the dish. So clearly, when you begin to build a drop back pass protection, you want to begin to talk about this concept. A dish for the quarterback, around the quarterback. And this is basically what it should look like. This is a drop back pass. Okay. Quarterback's 9 yards deep. And there is there is right there a dish around the quarterback. Okay. With the tackles establishing the width, the centers and guards establishing the depth of the dish here. From behind, you can see the same thing. And it's the job of the lineman to create that by redirecting the pass rush that begins to penetrate the dish. Another shot of it here. 4 down line front. The dish. This concept must be ingrained in all drop back pass protections. Now this is 3-man pass rush. Four-man pass rush again. That's what it should look like. That's what you want around a quarterback. Okay, so to take this approach, to redirect, absorb the rush, break charges down, I want you to look at this right guard, how he's doing it here. He's driving off his insteps. He's already set up. He's already stabbed the rusher, and now he's going to redirect this defender, the right guard here. Right there. Now, that's redirect the rush off of his insteps, off his inside foot, redirect it outside. That's got to go into the teaching of the concept of the drop back pass protection. That is aggressive protection there. Aggressive protection. Okay. How does a center or guard engage rushers that they block against? 2 concepts that we want. We want their arms away from their body, and we want a positive shin angle out of their ankle joints and knee joints when they set up. Okay, now we're going to watch the left tackle and right tackle do this to make the point here. If you watch both these tackles here, okay, their arms are away from their bodies. Okay, their ankles and knees are bent to create a positive shin angle. And here's what's important. As their arms are away and they're creating a positive shin angle out of their knee joints and their ankle joints, their arms are equal distance away. Their feet are equal distance away. Their nose right now is in the midpoint, their nose is in the midpoint of the body, and their hat's at number level. Those points, nose at the midpoint of the body, hat at number level, arms equal distance apart, feet equal distance apart. Having your arms away from your body and your feet created with positive shin angle are all the elements you want in your protector when he begins to engage a pass rusher. Those are very specific, very important points to give him a fair chance to be productive and to be successful throughout the interval of the protection. Okay, now to begin proactive hands, to begin arms away, this is a simple drill. And we call this high hands, fast hands. High hands, fast hands. And I simply just get in front of a guard or a center, and I said, okay, when I say hit, when the ball is snapped, we want your hands up right now. Right now. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Just bring them up right now. So this is the beginning of creating proactive hands. They need to understand that when the ball is snapped, their hands have got to go up right now. Right now. Right now. And this needs to be trained. They won't want to do this initially. They won't do that. Here's a right guard, and just study these hands. Watch this right guard against this 3 technique right here. I want you to study his hands here. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Okay. See where the hands are now? Now, they're up now. Now. That's the objective of the drill there. That's the drill in a game. Here's a center now. How do you coach the center? Same thing, high hands, fast hands. But the center's offhand, the center's offhand is his best friend. So that when that ball is snapped, the offhand comes now. And then the snap hand comes second in every protection. We don't necessarily care at this point how they move their feet. In order to begin to get proactive hands, the hands have got to be up right now. Here's a center in the game. A center in the game doing the same thing. The drill you just saw is the drill in the game here. The same drill. This center. Watch the offhand up now. Offhand. Offhand up right now. Right now. Okay, the next part of protection we want to talk about in terms of technique are eyes. Eyes. What do eyes do? We want our eyes on a defender. We have a target for every protection. We could have an inside target, we could have a midpoint target, or we can have an outside target. A inside target or an outside target could be any speck on the jersey of the defender that you're going to block. And these targets are specific to techniques. They're specific to certain pass rushers, what they do best. Generally, when we're in the one-on-one independent blocking, we use inside targets. If we're using some type of slide protection, then we would most likely use, say, a right guard, a center, and they're sliding to the right. They would use targets to the right or to the right guard's outside. There's times where you would use a midpoint target where you know a pass rusher potentially can beat your right, can eventually beat your left, and you need to focus more in the middle. But these are where eyes go. And in order to get your players' eyes to targets, they need to be trained and they need to focus their eyes on these targets. So we do a simple focus drill. And what we do here is we draw a dot on our hand here. You can see my right hand here, and I just move the dot. And I want his eyes big. I want his eyes intense. I want his eyes to be like two big grasshopper eyes. So that when the target moves, they move. But they got to focus. And I try to move a little bit. I try to give them some distraction here. But men, this doesn't happen tomorrow. This happens because you train it over and over and over. Like everything else. The mother of all learning is repetition. For an offensive lineman, repetition has got to be an accepted way of life. They'll never get this if they don't do it over and over and over again. No way. But eyes need to be trained in protection. Now, when we carry our hands here, okay, let's talk a little bit about first meaningful touch. We talked about proactive hands. We know this in football, that I don't care if it's the right guard, which we're going to watch here against the 3 technique, if it's the fullback against the linebacker, if against a wide receiver against the DB, I don't care what position, whoever in football makes first meaningful touch in those one-on-one environments, you're going to find this. Whoever makes the first meaningful touch, they end up winning their one-on-one most of the time. So what we believe is very important to coach in proactive hands and to coach in pass protecting is to protect with the idea that we are going to make the first meaningful touch. Meaningful. I didn't say touch. I said meaningful. I didn't say touch where we catch. We're not catching here. We are stabbing, and we want to make a meaningful touch where we want to fracture the torso of the defender when we stab. So let's watch the right guard here. The right guard. Okay, we're watching first touch. Study the shoulders of the 3 technique. You see those shoulders get knocked back? That's first touch. That's first meaningful touch. The right guard there. Okay. How do you create? Okay. First meaningful touch again. How do you get him doing this? Along this, very similar to the previous drill we showed you. Get him up high, get him up fast. Get him up high, get him up fast. Okay. Then put a bag in front of them like this, where they can begin to stab just a surface. Stab it. Get them up. Get it fast. Stab it. Another way to get their hands and get their attention is what I call a falling shoulder, where you as the coach stand a little bit to their outside or a little bit to the inside, and notice my feet are very close together. And I will say position. He'll get in position. I'll say ready, and he'll be ready here. And when I say hit, then that's his cue to get his hands up right now. Okay, and what I'm going to do as a coach is I'm going to fall and give him a surface like this here. I want their hands up right now. Right now. Another example. Notice my feet are very close together so I can fall. And I promise you, notice I moved a little further away from you because I trusted them. But those hands are up right now. This is a great drill to get them to understand the importance of getting their hands up right now to make the first meaningful touch. Okay, so now, when we move in protection, we like to think in terms of when we move in protection, keep your hands light in space, but when you strike, we want them to be heavy at impact. Heavy at impact. So we do a little drill like this. They just move a little outside and then they move a little inside. But when they move outside, okay, their hands are light. Now they're heavy at impact. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Move inside, light, 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 heavy, heavy, heavy. It's an emphasis. Light in space, heavy at impact. Watch a right guard. A right guard. Okay, study this right guard. That's everything. That's everything in proactive hands, making first meaningful touch. This is a left guard, first meaningful touch. Watch the left guard make a meaningful touch right now. A center going to his right. Watch number 90 shoulders get knocked back. Man, that's what you coach. That's meaningful touches. That's what you coach. You coach the living dog out of that. You coach the living dog out of that. It's emphasis. Okay, so we understand proactive hands. We understand first meaningful touch. How do you get it? How do you get it? How do you get them to do that? They got to be able to do it and be functionally strong. How do you stab and become functionally strong? Here's how you do that. When you stab, you come over the post foot. Over the post. Over the post. Over the post. That foot, this left foot, that left foot is underneath the left hip, underneath the left shoulder as he comes over that post. That's being functionally strong when you stab. Here's a left guard. For that matter, it could be a left tackle. Study his stab. He's on his right foot. He's on his post foot toe. Right foot, right foot. Here's a left guard. A left guard. He's going to set off the ball here a little bit, and he's going to stab off his right foot. Right foot. A right guard. He's going to set off the ball this time a little bit, but he's going to stab over his left foot. Left foot. Left foot. Left foot. He's functionally strong. That foot is underneath that left knee, is underneath that left hip, underneath that left shoulder. That's functional strength. You want to stab over that hip, over that foot. Okay, so let's now add movement skills when they leave their stances. Moving outside, moving inside, moving off the line of scrimmage. How does a center guard move in these directions? What are the techniques involved here in basic pass protection? Okay, so this is a left guard or a center, it doesn't matter. And he's just going to move to his outside. He's mirroring his rush. Okay, I am his rusher. I put a medicine ball in his hands just to emulate arms away. He's got a positive shin angle with his ankles and knees. And I'm getting him to tilt a little bit inside with his weight over his post. So if he's going to stab, he's going to be off his post foot here. And I'm giving him a target, an inside target with his eyes here. So that when I move, he's going to move with me. Now, how does he move to the outside? Here's how he moves. That left ankle has got to be ahead of the left knee. The left knee has got to be ahead of the left hip. Ankle ahead of the knee, knee ahead of the hip. The ankle is outside the knee is outside the hip. And then as he kicks, if he kicks 6 inches, he slides the post 6 inches. That is what we call tight feet. Tight feet, keeping the weight more tilted and anchored inside. Notice his left knee. That left knee is straight. Straight. You always want your outside knee straight. Why? Why? Why is a very big word in our world. Why? Tell him this. That'll keep his shoulders square to the target. Shoulders square to the rusher. Okay, so this is movement outside. That's just a left guard. Here's another left guard, just moving outside. Take a look at where the left ankle is. That left ankle right now is outside the left knee, outside the left hip, and he's got a little tilt on the inside. Arms away, good positive shin angle. Okay, so that is moving outside. Now let's take the same player and now let's move him inside. How does he move when his pass rusher moves inside? We like to say this. Okay, post with the inside foot, and as you post with the inside foot, lead with your inside hip and drag the outside foot the same distance. Post and drag. Post and drag. Notice his left hip. His left hip. That left hip ahead of the left knee. Left hip ahead of the left knee. Now, there shouldn't be a lot of air time when that post goes inside. He ain't got time. Notice there's some air in between his foot and the ground. He ain't got time for a lot of air time. When them feet move inside, if it's 1 inch, great. But he ain't got time to pick it up high and bring it back down because those defenders are moving inside and he's got to work to stay in front. Okay, so there's going to be times where their feet are going to be so spread, so wide, that they can't step with their inside foot. Otherwise, they would cross over. Okay, study this left guard right now. This is a left guard. Okay, we're going to get to the left guard here in a second. But 57 is a left guard, 68 is a right guard. And they're both going to move to the inside. And they're sensing and feeling that their feet are spread so wide that if they take that little post step inside, that what would happen is that they would be too elongated. They probably would cross over. So what we coached, in order to get them inside faster, we replace their inside foot with their outside foot. So he's going to now bring his outside foot first to his midline and then post with the inside foot. You can cover more ground faster and get further inside by replacing your feet than if he would post with the inside foot. Watch this. This is replace footwork. The outside foot. Notice 68. That outside foot move first. And you get there faster. Now, here's our left guard in the game using replace footwork. Excuse me, again, this is another drill to another way to do it, get more guys working. We would say position, feet, and then move, and then they replace inside, moving inside. And now you can put a little bag here if you want so they can stab it when you get to the end. And just another thought, another way to train the technique. We've done it with pulls. We've done it on air. We've done it with a little bit of a bag here. And now we'll take our left guard and watch a left guard use replace footwork in a game to get him inside faster when he feels his feet are spread too wide. This is, again, the left guard. He's got a real loose technique here. He's going out to set to him, and he goes, okay, my feet are spread wide. Now how do I get back in? There's replace, get me in. And he's over in front. That's replace footwork. This is okay. Okay. So that was the left guard. I think we had one more shot of another guy doing it here. Let me just double check here. No, I guess it's just the left guard. Yeah, just the left guard. I thought maybe I had one more shot of another guy doing it. I don't believe I do. Okay. So we've covered now how does the lineman move outside? How does he move inside? Now, what happens if you want him to this left guard to set off the ball a little bit, as if he's in some kind of a duel with a tackle or a duel outside to go block an outside jetted defender? How does he move? He moves very similar to the way a tackle would move. He kick slides, and we would say on a 45-degree angle here, but the mechanics of this are very similar to the kick slide moving for width. It's the ankle ahead of the knee ahead of the hip here, and again, the left ankle's outside the left knee. He's still got a little tilt inside. The arms are away. He's got a good positive shin angle. The left knee is straight. All the same mechanics. But if you, again, I'll accentuate this again. If you look at that left knee is straight. Look at them shoulders. Those shoulders are square to the line of scrimmage, square to the target. Very important point. Outside knee straight. Same thing here. Outside knee straight. Okay, so now let's take the final step in foot movement for centers and guards inside here, and this is what we call kick sync. So now, what is kick sync? We're going to say this. We are presently here engaged in the rusher. Our hands are in the rusher's sternum. We're anchored in there, and we're feeling pressure on the hands here. We feel good about our protection. Now, how do we move our feet? Okay, we simply tell the lineman to kick the outside foot and sink the inside foot straight back. Just kick and sink, kick and sink. As he kicks and sinks, he slides the post foot right across the tops of the grass, as if he's mowing grass straight back. And again, he's engaged. He feels good about his protection, but this is how he would move his feet, anchored in, feels good about it, feels good about the protection, moving his feet straight backwards. Just kick sink. This is a right guard kind of in a game, a right guard on a kick sink, a right guard. He's going to set on his guy, and then he's going to get into the protection. He's into it, not kick sink, 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 kick sink. That's it. That's how it's done right there. Kick sink. Okay, so built in all these footwork mechanics, you need to coach in, change your direction. Moving one way, outside, working back inside. Working inside, working back outside. These mechanics need to be ingrained. So one of the best ways to do that is to go back to the poles and get them working outside, inside, and back off the line of scrimmage. It is a great way to work in the leaning, with, well, I can do it with the poles where they work inside, work outside, a bevy of ways to coach this. Or stand across from them, have him set off the line of scrimmage, and then getting back inside. Here's a good example of him using replace footwork to get back inside. Watch the replace to get back inside. but you need to coach this. You need to coach the change of directions because it happens so often in the game. You can do it a little bit with footwork, with stabbing and not catching. Don't catch. Don't catch. Now replace, stab with a different various mechanics of protection. So let's now take another step into protection, and let's now talk about anchorability. Anchorability. Anchoring is digging in. Anchoring cannot take place. It cannot take place until the hands are into the sternum of the pass protector. Anchoring is digging in, as I mentioned. Anchoring is digging your feet in 3 feet into the ground. Digging in. Those feet are dug in 3 feet. We want a positive shin angle. We want the back arched, a little flexion in the hips, the knees bent, an arch in the back, ankles bent, as you can see right here. And the protector and the anchor, he needs to be taught 2 things. How do I anchor when I get pulled forward? How do I anchor when I feel a lot of pressure on my chest and I'm getting pushed forward? So the best way to begin to teach it is have the protector grab the back, his hands, but behind his shoulders, behind his back like this. And take the demonstrator and have the demonstrator grab the triceps or the shoulders or the back of the helmet of the protector. And have the demonstrator lean and push, as you can see here, lean and push on the protector. So when that protector feels pressure on his shoulders, he doesn't have any use of his hands. So what do I do now when I feel that pressure? I hop, hop, hop. How do you hop? Hop to your insteps, hop to your insteps, hop to your insteps, hop to your insteps, hop to your insteps. That's the first step. Hop, hop, hop. Hop insteps, hop insteps. Demonstrator, just steady pressure, hop. This is a very good look at hopping insteps when you're in the anchor. Next step now is, now he can pull you forward. So if you feel getting pulled forward, now we sit down, sit your tail down on the ground, sit your tail down on the ground. Those are the 2 of the art of anchoring. Those are the 2 elements that need to be understood when you're coaching them to dig their cleats 3 feet into the ground. Now, notice those drills were used without hands. Without hands. Now, once they get that concept, now tell them to put their hands on the cylinder of the defender, where now they can use their hands. And now they're going to begin to really feel more confident in the techniques. So here's a good example of the same drill. That now he's got a use of his hands. So the defender pulls and he sits. He pushes and he anchors. He sits, anchor, sit down. Another one. Another way for the demonstrator to do is have the demonstrator have both hands clasped around the back of the helmet. Notice the pass protector's got both hands in. So if he pulls, I'm going to sit. If he pushes, I'm going to hop. Great way to teach the anchor. Let's study the left guard this is one more anchor drill. And by the way, this anchor drill that you're seeing right here is the one I personally use right here. I use this one when I evaluate my guy's anchor. I'm going to always evaluate. The first time I work with my guys, I am the demonstrator here. I take my right ear and I put it next to his right ear. And I take my left hand and put it on his right shoulder. And I take my right hand and grasp it around the back of his helmet like this. And I tell the blocker, put your hands behind your back like this. And I say, I'm going to run you over or I'm going to pull you and I want you to anchor. And this is how I test to find out if they know how to anchor, if they know. And I might weigh 152 pounds if I'm lucky, believe me. But I'll promise you, if they don't know how to anchor, we have at one of the first times we ever did this, coaching professionally with the Calgary Stampeders, we worked with one of the, maybe the best guy we've ever coached, Fred Childress. He weighed 345 pounds. Believe me, man, we put him on his butt. We put him on his back because he had no idea what anchorability was. This drill here, if you want to really find out about your guys, or if you want to evaluate guys to be on your team, use this drill here. It is a great drill, a great drill. Okay, so that's the, okay, now let's watch a left guard here in an anchor here. Well, a left guard in the game. You'll see a left guard, and let's see which one it is here. I believe here it's, yeah, I think it's going to be the left guard. We'll get to the center here. It's the left guard. Okay, he's in, and he gets pulled forward. Sit down. Good example of just sitting down in the anchor. Okay, a left guard again, a left guard. Hop, pressure on his hands, hop, 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 hop. Okay, I believe a left guard here, a left guard. Yep, hop, 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 hop. Generally, we say this about centers and guards. You can hop once. If you hop twice, you're probably in the quarterback's lap. Tackles can hop twice. You can see he's almost right there if he's not. Here's a center in the anchor. A center. A great shot of hopping and anchoring. Hop. 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 Okay. Flipping hips. Flipping hips. Every one of your guys is going to get in trouble. Every one of your guys is going to get in trouble. And you as a coach, you've got to get them out of it. You've got to get them out of the trouble. That's your job, to get them out of trouble. Okay? This is say a center, and he's in trouble. What's trouble mean? Well, the pass rusher moves from one shoulder to the other shoulder and has got an edge on the rusher. How do you coach the pass protector to take the hit off the quarterback or to catch back up? Well, we flip hips. Here's a center, and he just flips his hips. Again, this is a pass rusher. This is a pass rusher that is on the center's midpoint, on the center's left shoulder, and he moves to there. Now, what's the center to do? Flip hips, flip hips, flip hips, flip them, flip them. Now take the hit off the quarterback and running. This has got to be coached. They won't do it. They won't do it automatically. Here's a center in the game. Flipping hips. Just flip your hips. Watch the center. Same guy in a drill, do it in the game. Same guy. Same exact guy, going to do it in the game. He sets on his guy, and now his center's, okay, now he's in trouble. Right now, you would think 97's got a straight line to the quarterback. Okay? We're going to tell it, we're telling the center, get your hips flipped, and now running. Now running. Take the hit off the quarterback. Here's a right guard. A right guard in the same scenario. He's got a 2 technique over him. He's in one-on-one pass protection right now. One-on-one. He's beat. He's beat right now. He's totally beat. Totally beat. It doesn't look like he can deal with the club swim or the club hatchet, but he's, you know, the guy's got too much edge on him. Now what's he do? Flip his hips. Flip his hips. Here's a left guard. A left guard. We'll get there, Bull Rush. Here's a left guard. Here's a left guard. He's got him on his outside shoulder. Now, the demo guy is, that's not very good. Your demo guys can move quicker than this. 57 here, our left guard's trying to do what we're saying, flip her hips and running. You're going to see, here's, watch 57 with an inside technique now. That's a little better demonstration. There's a great shot of flip hips. Now, here's the same guy who's doing the drills on his 1 technique. Same guy. Same problem. Except the guy went inside on him. Flip hips. Flip hips. Take the hit off the quarterback. Take the hit off the quarterback. Those quarterbacks, men, are priceless. They're priceless. You get a good one, you don't want them hit. You don't want them hit. And you got to give your guys a chance when they got a real good one across them and they get beat, how to whip it. Okay, the next kind of pass rush we can deal with here is we call, there's bull rush that happens all the time in protections. And you're gonna get bull rush. You have to have a way to deal with it. And we have a couple of techniques we deal with bull rush. We're gonna deal with the first technique here, which we call fit the pit. This is, first of all, there is no bull rush if there is no bridge. I'll say that again to you, men. There is no bull rush if there is no bridge. What's the bridge? The bridge are the two arms of the defender in your chest. That bridge bridges him to you. If there are no bridge, there is no bull rush. This is a bull rush here. You can see clearly the demonstrator's got both hands in 62's sternum here. And 62's, both arms are outside. So we got a bull rush and we're going backwards. Okay, so how do we deal with a bull rush? The first way is we call fit the pit. If you're going to fit the pit, you got to hop first, as you'll see him hop. Now, why do you hop? You hop to lower your center of gravity. I'll say that again. You hop to lower your center of gravity. And as he hops, you can see he's on his insteps. His knees are in, his toes are out, but he's lowering the center of gravity. When you hop, like we did in the anchor, when you hop, you lower the center of gravity. You don't stop the rush. You do not stop the rush. What will stop this bridge now is you got to beat the bridge. The bottom line is beat the bridge. Beat the bridge. How do you beat the bridge? It starts with a hop, but now it ends up with fitting both your hands in the armpits of the pass rusher. You're going to take both hands and fit them. You got a V between your forefinger and your thumb. You're going to take both V's, both forefingers, and just drive it right up into the armpits of the pass rusher. And as you do that, bring your hips. That's it there. Clearly. This is fit the pit. Watch him, his hips come with a V. And lift that bridge right up off you. Lift the bridge right up off you. Same thing with this left guard. Hop, hop. Fit the pit, same thing. And the demo's got to give a lot of pressure to really make the blocker feel it, like this here. When 62 is the demonstrator here, push, push. Same thing, same drills, one after another. Okay, I think we understand. Now, watch the center in a game. This fit the pit. And most of the time when you fit the pit, your arms are higher than his arms. This is number 67, our center. Okay, I'd say that guy's got a bridge on him pretty good right now. And notice our center is getting knocked backwards. Our center's left arm's outside the right arm of the pass rusher. He's got a power bull rush working right now. The right arm's probably in the same position right now. And we better get a hop and we better get a quick fit the pit here. See how the hands work back up underneath? He hops. And again, the bridge of the pass rusher is over. Here's another center. Fit the pit. He's going to get a power bull rusher down the middle. That's a bridge. You can clearly see the center's right arm away. Now the left arm to fit the pit. Here's a right guard. I think this is a better one, I want to say. Bridges in, bridges in, bridges in, bridges in. Now get it in. Now get it in. Now get it in, lifting. Lifting. Bring your hips. Okay. There'll be times where they'll one-arm bridge you. They'll one-arm bridge. This is a right guard, and generally when you get a one-arm bridge is not a full power bull rush, but just a one-arm bridge. And it's generally, the one-arm bridges are generally on the inside shoulder of the right guard or right tackle or the left guard. Generally, they're one-arm bridges. And you can, now, if he gets a one-arm bridge, what do you do? Well, we like to say we like to long arm. We like to take that right guard's left arm. You can see where his hand is. It's got tape on it, and he's just gonna just bring it right around the outside edge of the long arm and bring it right up into the armpit right here, and then bring his hips. Got a little hop to it. Same thing here. This is a left guard. Great example of a long arm on a one-arm bridge. This is a center getting long armed or getting one-arm bridged. Same thing. There's a center in a game with a long arm. Center in a game with a long arm. He's going to his left here. He's going to set up here. Okay, and there's the long arm. There goes the right arm there. Long arm, long arm, long arm. Center's right fist. Okay. Okay. The second technique is trap, where we trap the defender's bridge with the meat of our forearms in a biting down motion of the action. So this is, we'll get another shot this here. Okay, and just like in the fit the pit, you need to hop first and then bite down with the meat of your forearms. And it's good if the demo puts a lot of pressure on me. You can clearly see this demo's head going down because both his bridges, they're getting knocked down as we hop back. Here's another example of 69. Now, I didn't like this one so much. I'll tell you why. Because he didn't bite down with the meat of his forearm. He just bit down on his wrist. If you use the meat of your forearm, you will hurt them. They hate that. They hate that biting down. Here's a right guard against a power bull rush. And he'll use trap technique here. Here's a left guard. Got a loose 4-eye technique out there. This was just a one-arm trap with the inside hand. Clearly down. This is a left guard on a 1 technique. That's what they should look like. Their head's going down. Okay.
Coach Dorazio, we got a question here for you, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Do you set up to defeat the long arm with the hand underneath the armpit there? Do you set that up with a hop? No,
we don't. The hopping is reactionary to executing the technique.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. So, Dave, the bull rush, I believe, I want to say was the last part of the presentation here. And again, if you've got more questions, I'll be glad to. But this was just a center guard inside pass protection, detailed technique of stabbing, of moving. Just the basic mechanics of playing inside without. We didn't even touch pass setting here, how to set. We didn't even touch that, which is a whole another hour at least. But this is, that would be the other step. But you can see we set shorter interior wise. We are very proactive. We don't like setting off the ball very much. There's times for it. But in the art of protection, I would say that these techniques we saw today are are really the most important things to begin with.
Yeah, I think that's excellent, Dan. Coaches, if you do have questions, I'm sure Coach Dorazio will take a couple minutes to answer them. You can type them in there and we'll do our best to get them to Coach Dan here. But Dan, I really love what you're talking about. Firstly, about teach what you know. So everyone stays within their comfort zone, okay, or learns stuff outside of their comfort zone. And you're relaying that to their players because they are what they see on tape. Much the same way as a coach is what his players are doing on tape as well. All right. The mother of all learning is through repetitions. I love that thing. And attention to detail, the minute details that you go into, Coach Dorazio, is phenomenal. And that's what sets the standard of performance for everyone's unit that they're working with. So thank you for that. I am checking here to see if there are any questions. Or if there's anything else that you'd like to get to, Coach Dorazio. At the moment, I don't see any questions.
Well, Dave, in closing, let me just say this. I think success can only happen with the confidence of knowing what to do, knowing how to do it, and most importantly, knowing why you're doing it. Why you're doing it. And if you want your players to respond, what thing we've learned over the years, be a patient teacher. There's I think 3 secrets to coaching. The first secret is to have patience. The second secret is to be patient. And the third secret is patience. And we all want our guys to get it right. That's obvious. And all the players want to do it right. But sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And, they've all got talent, some more than others. We've all coached good guys. We've all coached guys that are great, really good players in the league. And, they all aspire to do it the right way, the way you want to do it. But what we learn most is the more patience you show, the more you're going to get out of these guys. And I just share that with you, Dave. And I want to thank you again, Dave, for allowing us to be a part of this clinic. And if, as I said earlier, if you've got one little idea, great. And that's what this is all about. And man, thank you for your attention. And for everybody there, I'll always be in your debt. If we can ever help in any way, be glad to help in any way we can. Anything else, Dave?
That's wonderful, Dan. We do have one more question.
Okay, good.
It's asking what 3 things should a center have? So I don't know whether those are attributes or what, but when you're looking at the center specifically, what three things do you look for in a center? Okay,
the first thing is we like our centers to be have a very good football IQ. That's number one. And the reason for a football IQ is so many times they start everything. They start every line. They start a lot of protections. They start running game schemes, and they have got to be pretty sharp mentally with the game. Okay. The second thing we want out of a center is if we can get it, we like kind of a big-bodied guy, and here's why. Lots of times big-bodied guys will at least get you a tie. Okay. And that's kind of all you want out of a center. The center is a position where he's got to snap the ball, so he's a little bit at a disadvantage coming off the ball here. And we certainly don't want our centers getting knocked backwards. So the bigger body guys, the strong guys, if we can get them right there. And then finally, I think in your center is his how he, what's his demeanor like? Does he got ice water in his veins, or is he just, is his hair on fire all the time? Those ones that are hair on fire all the time that lose it, when the rubber meets the road, they're tough to deal with at that position. But if they never get too high, and if they never get too low, but they keep that calm presence. That's what you want in that position. You want a smart guy, yeah, but he's got to have that calm demeanor. That's what I would hope that we could get in the center.
Well, thank you very much, Dan. Really appreciate your time. Coaches, if you'd like to see this recording or any other recordings that we've done so far this year, you can search our YouTube page for 3 Phases Coaching. And then we've got the list of every clinic or every session that we've done this year. So a big thank you to everyone who's attended, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow night, talking building your pass rush with your defensive line in the off season. Coach Dan, have a great day, sir.
Absolutely. Everybody be safe. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.